Hi everyone. Today we are going to uh, do our findings on our topic, which is find out the winning strategies for League of Legends through machine learning. And there are three groupmates in our group, and I'm Chen Jijen, Jackie, and we also have CHOI and CHOI which are here. So, esports is really a hot topic, and actually esports is a form of competition using the video games, and most commonly esports takes the form of organized multiplayer video game competitions, particularly between professional players, individually or as teams. So as esports is actually a very big region, and actually League of Legends is one of the big games in esports, and League of Legends, we call it LOL, is actually fast-paced competition online games that blends the speed and intensity of an RTS with RPG elements. So actually two teams of powerful champions, as you can see in the picture in the right, they will have a unique design and a playstyle, and the players need to battle head to head across the battlefields and different game modes. And in the first part, we are going to introduce some basic League of Legends background information to you. And there are many maps in the League of the Legend games, and in our study, we are focusing on the most famous one, which is called Summoner's Rift. In the two teams, we have totally 10 players, and for 5 players for each team. As you can see in the picture in the left, and they're actually the team 1 base in the left bottom corner, and also the red team, they have the team base in the top right corner. And when people spawn in the first of the game, they will start in the team base, and then they need to go into different lanes, for example the middle lane, the top lane, and the bottom lane, also the green area, which we call it the jungle area. The team players will distribute go to the different regions in the map and trying to destroy the structures of the opponent's team, which are presented in the red dots and blue dots, the small circles in the whole map. And for the second one, we were talking about the basic processing of the data, and also the new features what we created during the data pre-processing stage. And to collect the data set, we actually get the data set from the company which is called Oracle's Elixir. It is actually a professional statistic company, and they draw a lot of data from the esports game. And in our data set, we include the tier 1 League of Legends professional games, for example the EU Masters, the LCS, as well as the famous one LCK. Actually, in our dataset, there are many of the fields, but in our study, we think that they are not really useful. So you can see in the table in the left there is 16 fields. These fields are actually the fields we want to conduct the study, because in our study we are focusing to find out the strategies in the first 20 minutes. That means the early and the middle game, and these 16 fields, we actually can get those data in the first early game, so they are used to be analyzed. And also using these 16 fields, we also create the 4 new fields, which is actually, for example, for the F batch 20, is actually the first part under the first 20 minutes. That means if a team can get a first spot in their team, they will have a value of 1. If they cannot, then it will be 0. And the other 3 remaining fields are actually the similar attributes, and they are already covered in the report. For the details of the fields, you can also refer to our report. So for the model selection to conduct the whole study, we actually see that the 3 models. The first one is the logistic regression, and the second one is the deep learning neural network, and then for the third one is the support weather classification. Actually, we have done several tests on each of the 3 models, but in our presentation today we are focusing on the logistic regression and also the neural network. So for the logistic regression, it is actually the logistic regression is actually the linear classifier, and the details is already included in our lecture materials, so I'm not going to explain very deep. And for the neural network, it is actually typically the feed-forward networks, in which the data from the input layer to the output layer without the looping there. And also, it is already covered in our course, so I'm not going to drill down to details. For the optimizations for our model for the deep neural network, we have choose and do some testings for the two of them. The first one is the SGD, and the second one is the ADAM. And we will talk about the details and the findings we have found during the testing in the later part. So also for the regularization for our deep neural network, we have actually regularization is actually some strategies to reduce the testing error. In our model, we have used the dropout technique and also the weight decay technique, and we will go through the details in the following part. For the part 4, we are going to talking about the implementation of our models, and also how to optimize the models. And first of all, as you can see, we input all the features for the whole data. That means the 16 fields from the dataset, and the 4 fields we created after the data preprocessing. And you can see the accuracy is actually very high. It's about 69% of the accuracy rate. That means actually you can see for the coefficient of some of the fields, and they're actually very high. That means these fields we taken at the early game is very important to affect whether you are going to win or lose the game. And for the deep learning neural network, and first of all we do a simple one. That means use the default parameter of the TensorFlow, and also we use the same data set, so we have the also chaining features. And for the first trial, we use 2 hidden layers, which is the that means the first hidden layer we use 20 neurons, and for the second one we use the 10 neurons. And also we choose SGD as our optimizer. And for the output activator, we choose to use softmax. As you can see in the 2 graphs, which the first graph is talking about the accuracy, and the second one is talking about the model loss. And we have 66% as the accuracy rate, and also a 0.157 rate as our loss, which is acceptable, but it is not good as the regression result. So we spend the whole day in the school in trying to find out modify some parameters for optimized result. So this is the optimized one, and we do like the 100 of the testings, and this is the one which is the best. And also we use the same of the data sets of the training features, and we have 3 number of hidden layers, which is the best performance. And for the first layer of the hidden layer, we have the training neurons. For the second one, you have the 40 neurons, and for the last one, you also have the 20. And also we use the SGD as the optimizer, and for the activation activator as the output layer, we also use softmax as well. As you can see here, we achieve 73% of the accuracy, and also we lower down the loss from 0.53 to 0.49, which is really good. As you can see in the table, there are some of the past some of the testing results we have conducted for the whole day. As you can see, we have tried out ADAM and SGD, and the best one is the 4th row, which we have mentioned in the previous slides. Because there is a small limitation, because we have a limitation of the data set size. Actually, we do not have the very big or lots of data to test the optimization speed for the SGD and also the ADAM. Because we find that ADAM should be optimized faster than SGD in a large data set environment. The details of the limitation, there are lots of points, and we have mentioned it in our report, and you can read our report and see more limitations and also the details. After summarize all the findings we have conducted for the neural network, and we have summarized into other findings. And first of all is the activator for the output layer. On the left hand side in the slide, as you can see in the video, we use the soft mesh as our activator as for the output layer. And for the right hand side we have the sigmoid. As you can see, for the soft mesh they have the gap between the training curve and the testing curve is actually more narrow. That means we do not have less overfit for the model. But for the sigmoid one, that means the right two graph, they have the higher loss, and the gap between the testing curve and also the training curve shows a larger gap. That means they have a higher overfit. So we think that soft mesh is more suitable for our model. In the testing, we have a question to ask among our teammates how many hidden layers we need to choose, and we find that if we use the 2 as the hidden layers and the 3 hidden layers, they actually got a similar result. But after further discussions and see some research, we find that if we use the more hidden layers, we can do more modification in the parameters in our upcoming studies. So we choose the right hand side, that means 3 hidden layers as our results. And after we choose, we decide to use the 3 layers for our neurons, and we try out some patterns. As you can see, the first one is the 20-20-10, and for the second one is the 20-40-20, and for the right one is the 40-20-10. Obviously, the second one is better, because as you can see, when we conduct into the around the 10 approach, the training data, the training accuracy and the testing accuracy is actually very similar. They do not oversee each other. So we think that this is the optimized one for our model. And also for the dropout, we have tested without dropout or with 0.1 dropout, and also the 0.5 dropout. And we find that if we are using SGD as our optimizers, the second one, that means the 0.1 dropout, is the best because it can provide the overfit feature, as well as they have higher accuracy and also lower loss. And for the Adam, we have also tried 3 scenarios, which is without dropout, the 0.1 dropout, and also the 0.5 dropout. Because Adam is very fast when you are doing some big data set, and they can have a rapid loss than the SGD. But because our data size is quite small, so we need to add our dropout bigger in order to make the curve optimized. So that if we are using Adam in our model, we think that 0.5 dropout will be the best. So after conclude the 2 models we have mentioned in the previous slides, we think that the logistic regression and the neural network models are quite good for our dataset. It is found that the average testing accuracy is lie between the 0.68 and the 0.73. So for the features, as you can see, referring to the regression, you can see many features are important for our model. But let me choose the most fifth one to discuss. And the first one is, the first attribute is talking about the goal difference as the 50 minutes. That means if you got a positive and also a higher goal difference between your team and your opponents, you have a higher chance to win. And the second one is the opponent's total goal earned at 15, but it is actually a negative field. That means if the opponents earn lower goals at 50 minutes, and you have a higher chance to win. And also the first tower taken by yourself under 20 minutes is also very important for the whole study. And the fourth one is the dragon. If the team likely to get the first dragon under 20 minutes, they also have a higher chance to win. And also the fifth one is the Rift Hurl. It is also important factor. If you can kill them under 20 minutes, you will also have a higher chance to win. And so how can we derive from the features we use in our models? Let me summarize into the fifth one. For the first one, goal is very important in the early mid-game, so you need to do as much as you can to earn the goal. And we think that you need to get the perfect CS score, that means the 240, that means to maximize your goal, given that you do not kill it or get a first blood by your opponent. And the first one is you need to try your best to distract and pressure the enemies to farm, because you know the goal difference between yourself and enemies is very important. And for the fourth one is do not focus on the first blood, because this is too risky and you may receive the count again by the enemy team's junglers. And for more details you can refer to our reports, we have some reference here. And also for the fifth one and also the last one, the first dragon is very important, because there may be several reasons behind. The first one is if you kill the dragon, you can have a game name buff to empower your champions, that means your character. And also killing your first dragon will earn you as some extra gold and some experience as a bonus. So killing the first dragon should be one of the main objectives to accomplish in the early game if you want to have a higher chance to win. And this is the end of our presentation. And actually we have to do more than what I've just talked about in the slides. And please see the report and try to run the programming code. If you have any problems related to the studies or the programming stuff or the report, please feel free to contact us. Thank you very much. See you.